completely different subject. His speech title, number 3, is called The Great Outdoors.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters, for the opportunity to speak to everyone this evening. It was last August, and I was laying in a hot, stuffy tent somewhere in the backcountry of Yosemite. I was laying next to my friend Steve, head to toe, of course. And Steve was snoring and farting the entire night long. At about 3 o'clock in the morning, I asked myself, what kind of graduation gift is this? You see, the week prior, we had finished our MBA. And we decided that we would take a trip out west where we would do some hiking and some camping and take the opportunity to experience the great outdoors. The day prior to the tent experience, we summited Mount Whitney. And at 14,505 feet, the altitude for a Chicago city slicker was more than I could handle. I had a headache that felt like someone was banging my head with a sledgehammer. I was so nauseated, I couldn't hold down any water. And every 10 feet I took, felt like I just sprinted a mile. Basically, you can imagine the worst hangover you've ever had, and then multiply it by 20. That's what I felt like. The day prior to Mount Whitney, we had gone through Death Valley. And at Death Valley, we experienced 125-degree temperatures. We saw the lowest point on North America. And on the way out of Death Valley, on some desolate highway, we saw a car that was broken down in the distance. And when the guy flagged us down and made us stop, his exact words were this: guys, this is kind of like the worst case scenario. I'm with both my daughters on a cross-country trip from Orlando. I have a flat tire, and I don't know where my spare is. So as we got out, and I laid 3 or 4 towels down on the 500-degree pavement, and I crawled under his van, unscrewed his spare tire from the bottom of the car, and as I was sweating bullets, I asked myself, am I really on vacation? And I would say that historically, the answer is yes. You see, the year prior, I summited the Half Dome in Yosemite. And the Half Dome is the highest peak in Yosemite Valley. And on the final 1,200-foot ascent, which only consists of 2 cables drilled into a 60-degree flat granite rock, I lost my grip when I was trying to go around another hiker and nearly fell. Fortunately, I grabbed onto the cable and was able to catch myself. Then there's the time when I was in Chile, in Patagonia, and I went on a 5-day hike and ran out of food on day 3. For some crazy idea, I thought that if I packed only 3 days worth of food and tried to stretch it to 5 days, that it would make my pack that much lighter and I wouldn't have to carry as much. But it turns out 3 days of food lasted exactly 3 days. And finally, there's a time when I was in Colorado, and as I was enjoying a peanut butter sandwich, a bear approached me. Black bear wanted my peanut butter sandwich, and so did I. But guess who won? The black bear. So the question I ask myself is, are these truly vacations? And what brings me back year in and year out to the outdoors? The first thing is it gets you out of the city life. When you're in the nice national parks or in a great scenic environment, things like traffic and your cell phone and text messages and email and Wi-Fi, and particularly your boss. Your boss doesn't exist. That's the best part. But these things remove you from your day-to-day. Additionally, the national parks, and the outdoors have a lot of things that you can learn about in the nature, like ecosystems, And one thing I alluded to earlier was when I was in Isle Royale, I learned about the most studied ecosystem on the planet. And that's where there's a wolf-moose interrelationship where the two species actually promote themselves and make the species stronger and allow them to survive in a geographically isolated island. When I was in Yosemite, I learned that forest fires are actually a good thing. Without forest fires, the giant redwoods don't sense smoke. Smoke stimulates the redwoods to drop pine cones because smoke tells the redwoods that the underbrush has been burned away such that new redwoods can grow. Additionally, in the national parks and the great outdoors, you can experience things like the backcountry. The backcountry offers opportunities that 95% of national park visitors don't get to see. That's right. 95% of people who go to national parks drive their car, they stop at the visitor center, and they drive back out. But by going to the backcountry, you see things that are only seen on National Geographic or on the postcards that you buy in the visitor center. Finally, being outdoors offers you the opportunity to test your physical stamina. Going on multi-day hikes, it pushes you to the limit. And it teaches you survival instincts, like how to start a fire, how to stay dry in a torrential downpour when you can't jump under an awning or a bus stop. It teaches you how to make 3 days worth of food stretch to 5. And it teaches you the important survival instincts you need to know when you're outside of your city life. So next time you have the opportunity to go to a national park, I implore you to step out of the car, lace up your boots, go for a hike, and pitch a tent. Try sleeping under the stars and taking it all in. Because comes February, when you're hating your life, sitting in traffic, you'll look back and you'll say, you know what, that wasn't too bad. And then all the snoring and farting is a big deal.